Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or you're coming back, today we're going to do a daily energy check, but with the emphasis on divine masculine energy. So this is going to be useful for divine masculines watching to get more guidance, more understanding, clarification, what's going on and where you're headed, and for the feminine cross watchers, of course, to get more intel in terms of what's going on with the masculines. And we will be answering the questions of where the energy is, what are the masculines thinking towards the feminine at this time, and definitely what kind of action are they taking in terms of this connection. At the end, I'll put some messages from the Hermit Tarot, from the masculine to the feminine watching. Okay, we'll start with an oracle message, and I will do an oracle message for both twins, since a lot of cross watchers are watching. So we'll start with a message for divine feminines, then for the masculines, and then the tarot reading will be covering masculine energy. Hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing amazing. I performed at my show, my dance show last night. It was amazing. Yeah, not everything goes perfectly well when you're doing a live performance, especially if it's quite advanced, right? But that's a very good reflection of how life is in general, right? Especially for people who like to plan and control. And I'm definitely one of the first people to raise my hand to say, yes, I used to be one of those too. But this is really teaching you, this is one of the settings definitely that teaches you that the natural flow is the best, and it's never going to be perfect, but that's the beauty of it, right? You live in the moment, you work with that moment, with the energy, in this case also with the audience, and that's what creates its own magic, even if it's not perfect according to the plan you had before. Speaking of which, the feminines have the Fates card. I will read it because I like it. If I'm not mistaken, this is gonna tell us about the Serenity Prayer, but I also know that some people aren't very familiar with it, so why not? Let's remind ourselves. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in your life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. But also, if you notice, the art of this card is just so beautiful, so magical, positive, angelic. So I always take it because the Serenity Prayer is kind of controversial in its connotation, right? But this is definitely an energy of hope, reassurance that everything is working out just as expected. All right, let's see what we have for the masculines watching. Change in the wind, number 12. So we've got 12 and 17. Okay, yeah, so this is more like a change in the direction of where the masculine was going. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent, like the zebra stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. Now is the time of transformation, as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. So somewhat similar actually with the feminine, a different nature in terms of they're basically telling you that as much as for the feminine, like in both cases, magic is happening, right? The karma, the destiny, whatever you want to call it, is unfolding. But for the feminines, there's more kind of like hope and positivity there, right? For the masculines here, it's more like, it may, like this change may actually feel like it's going against your plan. So like maybe directly in the opposite direction from where you're going. But this is the time to believe, to have that faith that this is the divine plan unfolding. Okay, so we will do a 9-card reading for energy, thoughts towards the feminine, and actions towards this connection. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, so I'm getting this, I mean, 2 of Pentacles is a little bit different vibe usually than in this deck. Here I'm getting that the masculines are feeling that every change that they're making, every move forward is taking way too much energy from them, right? That this is so much effort, it shouldn't be that hard. And it's so, like the contrast is so vast that they notice it, right? Like they're thinking, why am I so tired or anxious or angry, right? Like what is happening that's getting me there? And they can't put a finger on it, right? Because it seems like it's just life is going on, but that's what it is. And that's actually a big sign of going against the grain or against the divine alignment. That's like the first interpretation that you can have there. So for the energy, we have the the World, the Temperance, and the 9 of Swords, more anxiety. But the energy is coming in, especially with this major arcana. The energy is coming in that's helping take care of this anxiety, of this pain, of this lack of understanding. Why am I in this place? What am I doing here? Why is it so hard? Right? So it's bringing in balance and closure to some old cycles. The problem is, and we just read it in the card, that some of that closure will mean that certain people, places, situations will go away. Right? Like that assignment is over and it's time to move on. But for the brain, it may not necessarily make sense based on the previous events or future plans, right? My episode on Mindfully Awake that went live on Friday is about letting go, the 2 aspects of it, letting go and getting closure of events of the past, and also surrendering to the future. Both types of letting go are very, very important, and they make life tons of times easier. Again, saying this from years of personal experience. The episode, by the way, was not supposed to go live this Friday, this one, but maybe it was Friday the 13th, maybe somebody wasn't feeling well at the station, I don't know, but yeah, it kind of like there was a confusion between the people who were in charge of posting content, so they posted the wrong content. But anyway, you know what, again, what they say, like probably somebody needed to hear that content at this point in time, right? And not next week or the week after next. So in any case, I updated the link to the episode for yesterday's reading. Or was it the day before yesterday? I'll definitely include it in the newsletter. So if you're subscribed, you're good to go. And you can subscribe either through the link in the description box or on my website. And then maybe I'll do a post as well with a little bit more of explanation on where this is coming from. But yeah, that's the energy space. For the thoughts, we have Ace of Pentacles, wow, Ace of Cups, and 7 of Cups. Yeah, we've seen actually Ace of Pentacles for a while for the masculine. So, but this is thinking towards divine feminine. So definitely they want a new start in life, in love and in life. I'm hearing very interesting, right? In love, meaning in terms of emotional intimacy, connection, alignment, and in life in terms of building something together in the physical space. Not necessarily literally building, but maybe but at least, you know, planning life together, right? Discussing how will it look like, especially if so far there's been some uncertainty, right? So there is still some uncertainty. So this is the intention that the masculine is setting, right? But there is uncertainty in how exactly to execute the plan. So if you're in communication, for cross watchers, if you're in communication with your DM, if you feel guided, this could be your time to reach out, or at least to help in that conversation. Maybe do a little bit of brainstorming ahead of time, so you can make some suggestions, make this conversation a little bit easier on the DM. For DMs watching, this is definitely like you need to believe that the intention will get you to where you want to go. Again, this is the brain trying to overthink, needing to play the usual program and having the certainty. And we're just reading that the uncertainty is where the magic happens, right? So sometimes you don't need to have a good plan, right? And just need to ease your mind and to quiet your mind that's going crazy because it doesn't really understand, it's confused. The action masculines are taking: 2 of Cups, the Magician, 6 of Cups. Oh my gosh, this is so adorable, especially in this deck. They're all like, these cards are so cute. There's even the Kundalini rising here, right? So masculines definitely want to almost like, this feels like coming back home. This feels like recreating some sort of story from a different lifetime, some sort of story that was a dream once. Maybe for some of them, they actually had a dream about the 2 of you and what your life could have been one day, right? So that's their inspiration, wherever they're calling it, wherever that is. Maybe for some of you, if you've known your masculine, feminine, if in your case, you guys knew your twin from the childhood, maybe, or at least like for a very long time, that could be some kind of conversation that you had, I don't know, 10 years ago, right? And now somehow you remember it and you want to recreate it in life. I'm hearing clearly the word recreate, because there is something here, like there is a vision and I want to take steps to recreate it. This is the action part, right? And masculine becomes the magician. So masculines, you have the resources that you need for sure. And both the feminine and the universe actually kind of like slightly poking you and pushing you towards taking initiative here. You know, I'm seeing this image of a boy that's at the pool, like on the plank, you know, like getting ready to jump, or it's called dive, I guess, in English. But there's fear because they've never done it before, like, or maybe he's not, he hasn't done it from this height, for example, something like that. Like there's that fear, right? But you've got what you need for sure. Okay, let's get a message from the masculines to the feminines. What would masculines like to share right now? Okay, let's see. I don't do too many cards, but it's really hard with this deck to not go with too many cards because it's so big. Not big but the size of the card, but it's a large deck, lots of cards. Happiness is my priority. This is 3 of Wands card. You have so many choices and options. This is 6 of Wands. And I need more time. This is 4 of Cups. Yeah. So they definitely know that you have a lot of options, and maybe they will not be in time for, you know, when they are ready, but they also understand that they need to be ready properly. I think so, yes. Exactly, right? That's where that 7 of Cups is, a kind of a doubt, right? Because the brain keeps saying, by the time you get your stuff together, you know, they have so many options. They'll go with someone else. They'll get tired of waiting for you, right? But there is also their heart space, or the other part of the brain that says, but you're a mess right now. You need to, even if it's one part of your life specifically, right? It's a collective reading, but take it how it resonates, right? But you need to get that sorted. Otherwise, there's always going to be that additional burden for the both of you, where your feminine will be sucked into that situation, or your pain and suffering around that situation, right? And that's not going to be the beautiful story that you're trying to recreate here with Two of Cups and Six of Cups. So bottom line, masculines are taking their time right now to set the right intentions. And I love that Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, where they are saying happiness is my priority, right? So they are getting more harmonious in terms of these types of resources themselves, so they can offer them to the feminine, because right now this is the thought stage, the 4D experience, right? And they understand that in order to be ready to give this to the feminine, they need to own it for themselves first, right? To have their cup full, so to be abundant and successful, and then to come to the feminine with all these gifts and offerings and passions and excitements. Okay, this is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I love you all. Don't forget to like the video, please, please, please. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Share the video with others who may benefit from this type of information. I haven't had many views this week, which is not a big deal generally, but I'm not chasing those. But it is, of course, beneficial for the development of the channel and for me to be able to continue this free readings for the YouTube community, for the Twin Flames. If you're interested in a personal reading, do not hesitate to book one with me through my website, or you can email me. Until next time.